you started Option Alpha out, and you were just creating content, like, when did it shift to you into like that level up? That's like, not just, oh, wow, someone gave me money for something I made, to, or someone's reading my blog, to, hey, I can scale this if I offer coaching, if I build a community, if I do all these things around it. Like, what was that level up? Because I see a lot of people too, they start their blog and they just are like, cool, I'm making enough money that I don't have to work for anybody else. But like, what was your shift from going to, hey, let's try, we found the first level, let's go to the third level and see how that ends up?
I don't know if it was like a particular thing necessarily, or the fact that you just, like, at that point, and this is like, was it like almost like 12 plus years ago now, like at that point, you started to see that like content was driving businesses.
Yeah.
You know, like we were just, I mean, like, how do we even start this? Like, we literally started this talking about Netflix. We didn't talk about Netflix, like their pricing model and like how they do their distribution. Like, we talked about the content that they released.
Yeah.
Right. So if you think about like, all businesses are, you're like, at its best and core is a way to generate content. And if content can generate like, you know, engagement, and engagement can generate sales and, you know, loyalty and retention, like that's all it's about. So I think at some point along the road there, whatever it was, maybe something or a combination of, you know, seeing different things, I started to see that if I had amazing content, like led with content, which, you know, like me, like you have to lead with amazing content. And like all of our stuff was free, which was very different, you know, from what it was back in the day. Sure. And, or like in that, in the industry we're in. And so if we led with amazing content, truly helped, like all of the other stuff would backfill. And then what I learned in that process is just like, people will tell you exactly what they want. Like they'll tell you like, I wish I had this. I wish I had this. I wish I had this. And then that's where you build your products from.
I was just speaking last week. Was it last weekend? I don't know. I've been on the road for like a month, but I was speaking either last weekend or the week before. And I was trying to tell this audience, they were like, but how will anyone find me? How will anyone come to my thing? And I'm like, you will create content. And they're like, what content will I create? And I'm like, well, the first piece of content is your life. It's your story. It's a story. It's the story of why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you writing about stocks? Why are you writing about online business? Like that's the first story that you have to tell. And once that content's out there, people will be like, wow, tell us another story. It's just like kindergarten. Like if you tell a good story, they're going to ask you for the second one. And eventually that gives you the opportunity to stop and say, what would you like to tell you next?